Welcome back to the Mistletoe Secret. I am the old acquaintance that should not be forgot, Daniel Kunkel.
And I am the full tummy after eating cookies all day, Trey Plutnicki.
I'm so ready for us to get to the point where we've gone through every Christmas sounding thing that we're going to say the same thing. And realize, oh, that's the show. I think it's got to be. I think we got to call it quits when we say the same thing.
Yeah. Yes. When we come up with the same idea.
Speaking of the same idea, our two movies this week were An Old-Fashioned Christmas and Three Wise Women.
Yeah. They're both of these movies. I think I feel like they decided that they wanted to have a European film unit for the Hallmark Channel, and because both of these movies take place in, I believe, Ireland.
They are both in Ireland, although you would be forgiven for forgetting that in An Old-Fashioned Christmas.
Yeah. Well, okay, so An Old-Fashioned Christmas takes place in 1800s, 19th century. It seems like mid 19th century.
It's the 1870s. I did some math. Okay. I did some math off of something in the movie when I was watching it. I didn't write down. I didn't show my work.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's the 1870s because she mentions how they just made Christmas a federal holiday.
Gotcha.
And that was in the year. Gotcha. That was the U.S. government did that in 1870.
Gotcha. And that was the important thing that happened in the United States in 1870.
Nothing else important happened in the 1860s in America.
They said, what? You don't have servants? And the mom and the daughter look at each other and are like, not anymore.
Oh, that totally was a slavery. I didn't even catch that. That was totally a slavery reference. That's really bad. So yeah, this we should be upfront. This is the sequel to a 2007 movie called An Old-Fashioned Thanksgiving. We haven't watched that. I glanced at its IMDb page real quick to make sure it actually was a sequel and not like it's kind of a sequel. No, it's like some of the same characters.
Okay. Do you know who some of the same characters were?
It's the mom and the aunt, and the girl, Tilly.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think the guy, her fiance. I assume it's her fiance. Is in the first movie.
Gotcha. This movie kind of starts with, okay, so if you're watching this movie like Daniel and I did without context, we see a pretty awkward meet cute right off the bat, and it follows all of the rules.
Yeah, it does.
There's a belligerent bystander.
Everyone is a belligerent bystander in this meet cute.
There's an awkward moment. And then there's like a courting, a soft courting, you know?
There is a flirtation on the part of the man.
Yeah.
The man's name is Charlie.
No, it's not that. Wait, hold on. It's Connor. It's Cameron.
That should tell you how memorable this film was.
Yeah.
I watched this movie yesterday, and I've already forgotten it.
I watched it hours ago.
So yes, this movie follows Tilly and her aunt Isabella.
No, wait, her grandmother. Definitely, she definitely says my granddaughter.
Sorry, her grandmother. There's a lot of weird family things in this. They go, they're on their European tour. I assume after An American Thanksgiving wasn't about that, and they go. So they've been traveling around Europe. They go to stay with the grandmother's old flame, the Earl of Shannon, in the lovely Irish countryside. Tilly wants to be a writer. The lady Shannon wants her son Cameron to marry Tilly. He spends the whole movie trying to seduce her. Tilly's fiance shows up. They have a sword. Him and Cameron have a sword fight. Then they have a drinking fight. Tilly can't make up her mind, even though she met Cameron forever ago. And again, I'm assuming we're coming off the back of a whole movie explaining why she and the other guy are really, really good together. Gad are really good together.
Yeah.
and then she breaks up with Gad, her fiance. You think she's going to go with Cameron. We learn Cameron's kind of a jerk in that he's very self-obsessed, but we don't learn that. We see that throughout the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes and gets with Gad. That's the movie.
So that's the whole thing.
That's it. That's the plot.
And I will say this will they won't they battle of the best, Team Cameron and Team Gad. It feels forced because
it's Gad. It's no question it's Gad.
Yeah, like we know it's gonna be Gad because we could really tell that Tilly does not like this guy. Like she doesn't not like Cameron.
Cameron is very much he's very attractive. I think he's more attractive than Gad. Definitely.
No, absolutely.
And he's 100%. He's got a bit of a wild side. He's got a bit of rough side. And
the accent definitely helps.
The accent is not Irish, except it is sometimes. It is sometimes Irish, and then other times it is very much British. And nobody else has an Irish accent in the movie.
Yeah, he was born in Cornwall, England, the actor, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think this is a clever thing to do. I think the actor was British, and it's like he just didn't want to learn it. Like it's nobody's fault. It's not a clever plot thing. No, it's just nobody has an Irish accent. He slips into it, and I think the director then takes him aside after every shot and is like, "You're doing it again. Stop it! Don't fuck up my vision."
Yeah. And also the actress who plays Tilly everyone has a weird, ununified accent. We're assuming Gad and Tilly are coming from the same place in America. We're assuming Isabella
is, I think.
Is it New Hampshire?
They're decidedly American.
Well, we're assuming that they're coming from the same place, but they all have wildly different dialects.
Gad seems British.
Gad is most definitely American.
But there were
he said he traveled across the sea for her.
He did. I got the sense that he, maybe in American Thanksgiving, he came to America from Britain, though, and then went back over the water. That was the sense I've got. That's how bad these accents are, folks. Dialects, excuse me. These dialects are. I think half of our conversation of this movie is just going to be a fight over what nationality this character is supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, so Tilly is decidedly American, even though she is a British actress that plays this part.
Yes. So she goes there. All that flirtation happens. There's also a subplot where she wants to be a writer. That's why she's there to meet the Earl of Shannon. Doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't matter.
She does get, at the end of the movie, she does get told that she's an excellent writer.
He's like, you have talent.
Yeah, you have talent. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed. That's my literal diary."
It's like
her diary. Like, are you kidding?
She's quoting she goes there. She also wants to meet her grandfather on, I don't know which side of the family it was on. They kept talking about this person ran away with this person. I believe it is on her mother's side.
Yeah, there was some. I think we would have benefited from an old-fashioned Thanksgiving on that front, because they seemed like those two, the Isabella, the grandmother, and the who is Sean? Is that the guy that was living in the shack?
Her grandfather is Sean. Yes.
Yeah, it seemed like they had some sexual tension. But it could also
another
be like
Game
a
of Thrones alumni.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a big deal in Game of Thrones for a few seasons. For a few seasons.
Cool.
He's also he's in. Have you seen Dairy Girls?
No, I have not. I haven't seen Game of Thrones either.
You should watch Dairy Girls before you watch Game of Thrones. Dairy Girls is 18 episodes. You will love it. It's so funny.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we binged it in a morning. That's how long it is.
But yeah, that's it. That's the movie. That's
the movie.
Yeah.
Important things I took note of. Gad meets Cameron and they instantly have a sword fight. I wrote down, remember in Hamlet when they had that incredibly tense sword fight at the end of the show? This is nothing like that. It's really trying to make it a big deal. And then it's like Gad's just being a nice guest and I do duel. We should have a sword fight. And then hypermasculinity, knowing no time period, he instantly gets very involved in it. And they almost kill each other.
Yeah, there's like tension where there shouldn't be tension. Gad does punch Cameron though in the stables.
Yes, very good.
Yeah. Tilly went to brush a horse to calm her nerves because she was having trouble choosing between her fiance and this guy she just met.
This guy she met 3 days ago.
Yeah. Very, very like soon she is making this decision. And Gad comes in, sees that Cameron is there trying to talk to Isabella and like begging on his knees.
He's apologizing. He's apologizing for being a jerk. To his credit.
And Gad's like, go. And Cameron's like, all right, I'm going. And then Gad said, not another word. And then he said, fine, I'm going. And then Gad punched him.
Yeah, Gad's like, not another word. And I think Cameron goes to he's like, okay, I'm sorry. You're right. Whack. Right across the face.
No, that was wild.
Those
are the,
Somebody, I believe, Cameron says, I love you for real. If you need to say, I love you for real, it's probably not for real.
Yeah.
If you have to add the qualifier of I love you for real.
Yeah, it's like saying believe me at the end of every statement.
Yeah, and he is saying it because it's a plot to get him to marry her for money. Yeah. And he is telling her, no, I'm not doing it for the money. I truly love you. Shouldn't need to say it.
Yeah, because America was canonically rich 10 years after their Civil War.
Yes. Not even 10 years after their Civil War.
Yeah, famously rich immediately after.
Yeah, this movie is dull.
To say the least.
To say the least. The only reason it's good we paired this with Three Wise Women is I think the only way these movies connect so far is to each other.
Okay, I will say Cameron may have ancestral ties to some of the stinkers that we've encountered so far.
Cameron is an interesting conundrum so far in that he is decidedly a stinker, but he is a sexually active man in his mid to late 20s.
You know what have you seen Haunting of Bly Manor?
Yes.
He reminds me of Peter.
Yeah.
How he's kind of like a spry, good-looking stinker.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So I really and I think that his stinkerness is going to have lasting complications. So for maybe one or two of the boys that we meet.
So you're saying that stinkiness in this universe is a genetic trait, possibly?
Yeah.
All right. I take
a bunch of stinkers in this universe. I'll tell you what. We got a lot of stinkers.
A quick little thing. I took a really deep dive through some various websites trying to find a really good thing for us to do because I felt like we would need a little mid-afternoon snack, a little break between these two.
Okay.
I would like to do a quiz with you, Trey.
A quiz with me?
A real quick quiz, yeah.
Dude, last episode I had trouble naming one of the movies that we watched.
No. Oh, no. This is a BuzzFeed quiz. This is not a trivia quiz. Okay. This is build your own Hallmark Christmas movie, and we'll reveal which festive dessert matches your personality.
Oh, interesting.
So I've already taken this.
Okay. Are you going to walk me through it?
Yeah, I'll ask you the questions. So,
okay.
Which big city is your main character from? New York, Boston.
It's Bloomberg's. You don't even have to finish. It's Bloomberg's New York.
There's a couple of these I know we were going to have the same answer.
Yeah.
What is your main character's job? Editor for a fashion magazine, chef for a Michelin star restaurant, pediatric nurse, powerful CEO, corporate lawyer, or independent bookstore owner?
Oh, this one's a tough one. From the ones that I hold dear to my heart, I'm going to go with corporate CEO.
All right.
In Bloomberg's New York.
Yeah, powerful CEO.
Yeah. Very powerful. Powerful.
What's the charming, oddly festive name of your main character's hometown? Snowborough, Winterland, Santaville, Evergreen Cove, Reindeer Ridge, Hollytown.
Ooh. What was the reindeer one?
Reindeer Ridge.
I think it's Reindeer Ridge. That's the one I gravitated to. Yeah.
Your main character is so excited to be home for the holidays, but things are different this year. What seems to be the problem? It's their first Christmas without Grandma, whose Christmas tree farm is up for sale. Their dad's beloved inn is going bankrupt. They recently went through a breakup and are figuring out how to be alone. Their hometown's annual Christmas parade was canceled. Their mom's diner is being bought out by a restaurant chain. Or their grandfather is sick, so there's no one to run his toy-making business.
Oh, man. I'm going to
These
go
are
with...
all really good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Grandma's sleeping and she's losing her Christmas tree shop.
All right.
That's what that one was, right?
Yes. It was that she's going to lose the Christmas tree farm. Who does your main character run into while they're back in town? High school sweetheart? Prince from a distant kingdom who happens to be passing through? Childhood best friend who happens to be totally hot now? The next door neighbor they had a crush on as a kid? A celebrity who is stuck in town due to bad weather, or their childhood best friend's hot older sibling? I can't tell if this was made out of respect and homage, or parody, or both.
I could honestly say, I can't tell which one of these are like, of course that would happen in a Hallmark movie, or like these happened in a Hallmark movie.
I think we've gotten to that point. We've already seen some of these, and we're only like 8 movies deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Christmas Prince.
Christmas Prince, all right.
Yeah.
Your main character seems to have taken interest in this person. When is the moment they realized they were in love? Went on a carriage ride together. I'm gonna skip question to answer 2 because I think it's gonna be your answer. Danced together at the town's annual holiday ball.
Okay.
Went Christmas caroling together.
Okay.
Built a gingerbread house together. Went sledding together. And your last, and I would guess your answer, when they kissed under the mistletoe.
Yes, of course. Yeah, when they kissed under the mistletoe naturally.
How does this heartwarming tale come to an end? The main character marries into the royal family and moves to their country. Main character decides to abandon city life and move back to their hometown. Main character and their love interest finally share a kiss. The main character becomes the new Santa. The main character proposes to their love interest, or the main character and their love interest decide to start a new life together in a brand new city.
Okay, so it's a very close tie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a close tie between the main character becomes Santa, because that's, I mean, we've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's not far-fetched.
Absolutely.
Or the main character and their love interest flee the town and move to a new town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with becomes Santa.
Becomes Santa, all right.
Yeah.
You got Gingerbread Dutch Baby. You are optimistic, passionate, and a bit indulgent. Like this tasty treat, you reel people in with your sweetness and warmth. And then you can check out this incredible recipe here.
Wow. You know what? That actually is kind of me on the nose.
Yeah.
I will say.
I dig it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun little interlude. I might bring up some of those, some more of those. I found a bunch of really good, like Christmas/Hallmark quizzes. Some of the Hallmark quizzes, though, they don't dig deep into the canon. These are like, they do like movies from like 2018 to present. So we're going to have to wait a while, I think, to take those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. And I'm okay with that because
We've got time.
We have a lot of work to do.
We got time.
Yeah. So let's dig into 3 wise women.
Yeah.
Now I need you to jog my memory.
Yes.
Did this one end with a mistletoe kiss? Because I can't remember.
This one did end with a mistletoe kiss. Yes, it did.
Okay, it did? It
yes.
did?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure. I had to, I like closed my eyes. I flashed through the entire film because I watched it 5 hours ago and I visualized that ending scene. It does end with a mistletoe kiss. Yes.
Okay. So this one is crazy.
Yeah.
This one, okay, so it's, once again, it's not a winner. I will say. It isn't the best one we've seen.
Nope.
It's a movie that takes Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future, takes out the word Christmas, throws that away, and then puts in a guardian angel.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to describe it. Yeah,
this puts in an honest to God agent of the Lord.
Yeah,
we hypothesized this back during what was the movie? We talked about this.
The Christmas past, present, and future?
No, the idea of like the Christian God being the main antagonist.
Oh.
we definitely we brought this up, and son of a gun.
Was it Mrs. Minkle?
It was Mrs. Miracle. Yeah,
Mrs. Miracle. Sorry,
Mrs. Minkle.
Oh, come on.
I feel like for how much we talked, I don't think... Okay, Mrs. Miracle takes up a lot of room in my head. I don't think nearly as much as it does for you.
I just watched Mr. Kringle, okay? I just watched that.
Fine.
And I just smushed those two together. You gotta give me a break.
This one opens in 2040, our first vision of the future.
Yeah,
in the
but
HCU.
It does not stay there for too long.
No, it doesn't matter. It could have been any year.
I want to ask you a question.
Lay it on me.
It opens in 2040, and our first version of what's her name? Ellie?
Ellie, or Elizabeth is
Ellie.
her full name, but she goes by different names in the 3 different timelines.
Okay, so Ellie. Okay. So old Ellie lives in 2040. We can only assume middle Ellie lives in 2010.
I think that's fair, yeah.
So that means younger Ellie is she 19? How old is she? 12?
She is 19.
She is 19.
She is 19, yes.
Okay. She's 19 and so if we do the math,
2040, she looks like at the youngest, probably mid-60s.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think more accurately, probably mid-70s.
Do we get a year for younger Ellie? Okay. So we just need to make it up.
We got to figure out the year. So we know she's 19. I think we can safely say if it's 2010, I would say that's probably 15 years after when she's 19.
Here's my next question.
Yeah. Okay? It's the 90s. I think it's the 90s.
This is gonna be really important.
Oh, okay. All right, please.
Do you think that Ellie from her early age of 19 to whatever year that was, and however old she was in 2010, can cure an incurable virus? Because that's what she does. Because that's the timeline we're looking at.
It's not a virus.
Oh, what is it? Oh, is it just like a disease?
No, it's not even a disease. And this is confusing. She's creating a serum to repair damage.
Oh, to the spine.
To spinal tissue.
Yeah, okay.
The problem is spinal tissue is just neurons. And you can't fix neurons.
Okay. So this is
it's a wonder cure. It's a wonder cure.
Okay.
I think Hallmark Cinematic Universe has tipped its hand into sci-fi a little bit. This feels a bit like
it did that in the Santa incident.
This feels like Khan's magic blood from the Star Trek movie.
Yeah, and they hold it up like a serum. It's like the serum of Windex that she's just like shaking around, and she's like, "This is the serum. This is the serum."
I recently rewatched.
Like, be careful.
Yeah, I recently rewatched the Resident Evil movies, and it looked like the T virus. I wanted her to break it, and it's a zombie outbreak started.
But here's what I'm getting at for context. So we're in the past, present, and future type thing.
We're all over
the reason
the place.
why this is important is because I want to know the ages of these people. So here's what we know. This is like a logic puzzle. We know it's 2040. Okay. At the end of her life. We know it's 2010 in the middle of her life.
Yeah.
And we know her age is 19 in the beginning of her life.
Yes.
So what I'm asking is, what is an appropriate amount of time that it would take for a 19-year-old college student to then become someone who creates like this like life-altering medication or like treatment or whatever.
Not only to complete this serum, to go through medical school. to become a doctor and do this really advanced enzyme research.
How long does it take to become a doctor? This is Trey. This is Trey not knowing that. Okay, so I'm gonna ballpark, and then you're gonna tell me how wrong I am.
Okay.
I want to say, so it takes like 12 years to become like a lawyer, right? Or is it 8 years?
I think it's 8 years.
It's 8. It's like 4,
maybe.
Like 4 of undergrad, and then 4 of the law school. So I imagine it takes like 12 years to become a doctor.
It takes it takes between 10 to 14 years to become a doctor.
Okay.
You have 4 years in an undergraduate program, 4 years in med school, 3 to 7 years in a residency program.
That's money. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think...
So it's got to be at least 10 years. We know that.
I think she's like 35 to 40 in her...
I was going to say...
Like mid-range.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe it's like 30 years between each of them, but then she would be 49 in 2010, and she is not 49. So maybe it's 20 years? Maybe 20 years. How does that feel to you?
20 years feels good.
So 1990.
Call her...
1990.
Uh-huh.
Like I said at the beginning, yeah.
Okay. You don't need to throw that in my face.
No, I'm just saying.
Like I said, all the way at the top.
I'm just saying.
Like I said at the top, Trey, we didn't need to go through all of that medical school nonsense.
I'm glad we checked our work. That's very important.
Okay.
You are correct. Glad I checked.
So 1990, which means she would be 69. Nice. She'd be 69 in 2040.
Yes.
Okay. And this checks out too, because I'd say that's believable.
I'm down with that. She's 30.
Yeah,
she's 39. Yeah.
She's 30. Yeah. So she's 19, 39, 69.
I'm down with that.
I like that. Okay.
So this movie is about Ellie needing... Her life has gone off track because she's so focused on business. Her business, just to reiterate, folks, is creating a world-changing, potentially saving millions of lives serum. But the Lord God above doesn't like that. He sends the Archangel Green and her guardian angel Tom to go back and make sure that she lives her life appropriately, which is to say, finds a man and settles down.
Yeah, that's
effectively it.
I think, yeah. No, you're right.
That's the movie.
And here's the thing. Tom sees that she's getting married to this one guy who doesn't want anything good for her, except money.
He wants money for her, which
he wants her to sell this serum that she's about to make.
Yeah.
To like corporations into a for-profit healthcare system, which is no good.
So I think maybe we should. Yeah. So the ending, the resolution, the good thing. The supposed, what we are told is the good ending, which I would agree is the good ending, is she decides to give away her treatment for free and will not instill a patent on it, on her research. That's a good thing. That is what Tom and the future and the younger version of Ellie work towards, in addition to making her forgive her father for cheating on her mother and tearing her family apart, which I don't think I agree with. She gives away her research for free. That's a good thing. You know me, and you know my mortal enemy is Big Pharma. And that's a good thing.
My enemy's Big Pharma.
My personal mortal foe in this world is Big Pharma. And that's basically the movie. The older and younger version of Ellie drug her to make her pass out so Tom can come to her in a dream and show her how much better life would be if she were nicer, I guess. But she's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think she's fine. I think it's more so that she was cognizant of what her work is doing to her personal life. I think that was more so.
I think the movie gets confused. I think the movie over-explains itself, whereas if it just let itself happen, we would agree with the message. Because if the message... Sorry, no, go.
What, was Tom breaking the rules by visiting her in a dream?
No, because she thinks it was a dream because she's a very vivid dreamer.
Gotcha.
So the rules
did Tom break the rules at the end of the movie?
Yes, totally. Yeah, the rules are he cannot appear to current day Ellie, so he has to get past and future Ellie to come and convince her to be good. That feels like it should also be a rule. Just me.
Yeah.
Not gonna tell Heaven how to do its job. Feels like it should be a rule, though.
No, I feel like that's a super loophole.
Yeah,
no, I completely agree.
Yeah, he spends the whole movie like tricking her, getting a younger versions to talk to her, manipulating her life, and then at the end just brings her to heaven. Reveals himself, explains everything. They don't remember. He does say you won't remember this. To be fair.
Yeah, because younger Ellie didn't remember it either.
Younger and future Ellie don't remember it either. This makes time travel kind of confusing, and I don't really want to get into it with this movie because it was so boring.
I honestly don't want to even think about it.
No, because it was really it was weird. Is it a fixed timeline? Is it a fluctuating timeline? Because if it was a fluctuating timeline, there were multiple times when I think either version of Ellie would have been eliminated from the timeline.
Because also like what are the implications? Yeah, so the fact that I'm talking about it right now, I don't want to get into it.
No, we don't want to get into
it. It's not meant to get into. I will say about in terms of connections. Yes. I know you have something that connects the two movies that we watched today.
Yep.
My connection lies in this guardian angel concept.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Lay it on me.
I think we have a way into the town Christmas Forgot here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As a means of do you see what I'm saying?
I think I see where you're going. Yeah. Keep going.
I think the town Christmas. I think the guy at the coal mine, Coleman at the coal mine. He was the dad's guardian angel.
I love
that brought him to the town Christmas Forgot in order to help him in the night before Christmas.
Well, because he cracked the code very early on and was like, "Oh, I can talk to her just in a dream."
Yeah.
He doesn't need to go through all the stuff about bringing past and future the dad from the town Christmas Forgot, who's actually the dad from the night before Christmas in. He just was like, "Oh, I'll just appear to him as a dream and create a whole allegory for him." I love that, Trey.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's my personal connection, which we will figure out in the big connection episode. But I think that for me right now, that's solid.
Yeah, that's rock solid. I got no holes in that.
Talk to me about your connection.
So I like yours as a kind of our supernatural connection on our bit more like on the ground connection. I think that Elizabeth, the doctor, the main character, I think she is a descendant of Cameron, Earl of Shannon. They are both in Ireland. They are both set in Ireland. She actually has an Irish accent, so she learns that Irish accent.
Yes.
Which is weird, because the future version doesn't have an Irish accent.
No, she doesn't.
Young her has a really, really nice Irish lilt. I love it. It's so much fun to listen to. Middle-aged Elizabeth is like, it sounds great. Yes, I think Dr. Elizabeth Kilcon is the descendant of Cameron, Earl of Shannon. We never learned Cameron's last name. We just know that he will become the Earl of Shannon in An Old-Fashioned Christmas. My theory is that inspired by Tilly, to go back for a moment, in An Old-Fashioned Christmas, Tilly tells him off, and in the only good scene in the movie, Cameron confesses his love to her, and he said, "You're my muse. I want you to be my muse." And she said, "But all of this is how you feel about me, and what you want me to do for you. What are we going to do for each other?" It's a really good scene. It's actually a really nice subversion scene.
Yeah, and also don't call anybody your muse. That's just a personal principle.
Don't do it. It's gross, and no one ever appreciates it.
Yeah.
I think Cameron was changed by that, though. And I think he encouraged his daughter, perhaps, or maybe a granddaughter, all of the women who would come into his life. He really encouraged them to pursue their professional endeavors. Mm-hmm. Perhaps sometimes at the loss of their personal relationships.
Interesting.
Because why else would these movies be back to back?
Yeah.
Why would they be back to back?
Why would they both be Irish?
Why are they both Irish? They have to be connected somehow. There are only 5 people in Ireland. You know this. We know this to be true. I totally agree with you though about the angel, about Tom. I think Coleman is not Coleman's real name. Because I think that's a little bit of maybe him showing his hand a bit of like, you really expect a man in a coal town to be named Coleman?
Yes, yeah.
Like, that's too on the nose. And we thought that was silly at the time, and I think now you've really cracked it open how...
Yeah.
No, that wasn't silly. No, that was them laying the breadcrumbs out.
It was absolutely intentional. So I think we've done it for these two movies.
I think we've really concisely done it.
Yeah, really super concisely
really tightly done it. I didn't think we could do it. I was really nervous about an old-fashioned Christmas, but now that we've connected an old-fashioned Christmas to Three Wise Women and then Three Wise Women to The Town Christmas Forgot, we have an old-fashioned Christmas now connected into the larger HCU.
Yeah, that's really something I did not expect that we were going to be able to do.
No, I thought this was going to be a prequel that we would kind of reference back to.
Yeah.
But would have trouble fitting in, and we fit it in the same episode, which...
And I really did think Three Wise Women was going to be a standalone. Mm-hmm. But I'm really glad that connection came to me.
I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it's part of the family. We know these are all connected, and look, folks, the fact is sometimes we're not good enough.
No.
We still haven't quite gotten November Christmas in there quite well. We're gonna. I know we are. But it's always nice when we have a moment of victory like this, when two of them connect so clearly to each other and to the larger tapestry being weaved by the hand of fate.
Yeah, and I will say our knowledge is a bit dampened at the moment because another holiday is encroaching.
Mm-hmm.
And
we are recording this to show the hand a bit. We are recording this a few days before Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to get a bunch of these recorded to make sure we were ready to go in time for the big one on the end of December.
So what I'm saying is it's not yet December yet.
Mm-mm.
And when December hits, my 14 mistletoe related degrees, they sparkle on the wall and they give me knowledge. So once December,
I specifically have my degrees hanging in a way so that when it is December, my whole room lights up. It looks really nice. I got some low light going on.
It's like some LEDs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But they sparkle and they give me powers. So we haven't hit December yet. So my brainwaves are not. They're sparkling in a cosine instead of a sine.
Yeah, I'm glad we showed our hand to it. I felt a little dishonest, I think is maybe the word for it, about us doing all these preparatory recordings before even releasing the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we want to make sure that we have a complete thing for you guys.
Yeah.
To hand out.
It's for you, because when I was growing up as an amateur mistletoe detective, there was no one for me to look to.
Right?
There was no one for me to look up to. All of the greats had died, and there was no. There are forums and there are some subreddits, but there's nothing like this where people can really gather to hear concise thoughts and hopefully engage with those thoughts, both on a personal level and at the Christmas table, at the Christmas dinner table.
Yeah,
You're cutting into that ham. The thought of even one small child out there really arguing with their aunt or uncle about how an old-fashioned Christmas can connect to the Santa suit. That makes my heart flutter. That gives me joy.
And I remember when I was little, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, I remember sitting down on the couch watching Elf, and I was thinking, damn, this movie must be connected with Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
That was the sin that we had to grow. It was the world of sin we had to grow up with until the HCU came along.
Yeah, in 2010.
In 2010.
Yeah. So, without further ado, we only have 2 more movies left in the year of our Lord 2010.
Yeah, we have Gift of the Magi and Battle of the Bulbs.
Battle of the Bulbs.
Which I think we will record much closer to Christmas.
Yes, I think, yeah.
I think we've really burned through the Mistletoe reserves. But we want it to be raw. We want it to be real and raw for you people.
Yeah, we're keeping it 100, as they say. Yeah, who says that?
I believe it's Saint Nicholas.
Gotcha. Saint Nicholas famously says keeping it 100
when he was shot out of the sky with an air-to-air ballistic missile.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us for today. When we see you next, it's going to be our penultimate episode, and the episode after that is going to be the big wrap-up, the big Mistletoe wrap-up.
The big Season 1 wrap-up for 2010.
Yeah, so we'll see you soon for for this penultimate episode. This is Trey Plotnicki hoping you stay jingling and stay jolly.
And this is Daniel Kunkel, wishing he'd said his name before the sign-off had been said.